I got greens, beans, tomatoes, potatoes. Okay, let me stop. Hey y'all, if you want to see how I made these super sweet old school candy yams, keep on watching. Okie dokie. So I don't know why I'm so goofy. We want to start off with a little bit of water, and I mean a little bit, like a teaspoon or a tablespoon of water, and then you're gonna line up the bottom of the pan with the half of your potatoes. Once you have the half of the potatoes, you want to start layering with the seasoning. I'll be using light brown sugar. You can use dark brown sugar or white sugar. I'm going to use a combination of both, but honestly, it's just a matter of what you prefer. I'm using about a half a cup of brown sugar and a half a cup of white sugar for each layer. But I mean, come on, it's candy yams. We don't really care about the measuring. We just want these things sweet, okay? So definitely be heavy-handed if you prefer. I am as well. And yeah, just keep on watching, and I'll just sneak back in and tell you what I'm doing next. And the amount of potatoes I'm making will serve about 8 to 10 people. So it's about 8 to 10 servings. So definitely keep that in consideration when you are making these sweet potatoes or candy yams. Yeah, so use less sugar if you can use the same amount of sugar if you want. But if you're using about the same amount of yams that I'm using, then do about as much as I am with the sugar. If you're using less amount of yams, then moderate it to a smaller proportion. Well, measurements to be exact. And while you're here watching, just hit that like button, subscribe button, and hit that bell to make sure that you stay on top of whenever I upload so you can be the first to know. So lemon juice is optional, but I do like a hint of citrusy taste in my candy yams. So this is why I'm using lemon juice. I really prefer to use actual lemon juice, but this is what I was able to get on short notice. Some people use salt, but I just wanted to use lemon juice. And the purpose of adding lemon juice is just to cut through so much of the sweetness so that it's not like too sweet. You know what I mean? Like you want to kind of add a little bit of bitterness to really any dessert that's using a lot of sugar. So if you weren't sure why people put salt or lemon juice in certain things, that is why. And here I am just basically repeating the same step, adding the layers, adding the sugar, but this layer I'm going to add a few more ingredients that I didn't add in the first layer. This stuff is optional, and this is nutmeg, and I'm just going to add a tiny pinch of that. Now this part is crucial. Don't touch the pot once you put the lid on, and don't put the lid on all the way. You want to have it cracked just like I got. And here I'm just checking on to make sure that things are looking good. You can start to kind of push down the potatoes. I actually ended up adding a little bit more sugar just because I felt like it needed to be a little sweeter, and I wanted the sauce to be thickened, so I did add honey. That is optional also. You don't have to do that. So after attempting on making candied yams on top of the stove, I learned the name of the game is patience. So with the amount of potatoes that I'm making, you want to wait about 20 to 35 minutes before flipping the top layer. And as you see here, I'm pushing down the potatoes into the goodness that you see, just making sure that all the potatoes are being thoroughly immersed in the syrup, just to make sure everything is evenly coated. So after you flip all the top potatoes, you want to add the lid back on with it slightly cracked so that air can flow through, and you want to turn the heat from medium low to low heat and just let it simmer for about 20 to 35 minutes. So after they've been cooking low and slow for 20 to 35 minutes, you see that the syrup is cooked down more, the potatoes are cooked down more. I wanted to make sure that everything was cooking well, so I am flipping them over. Honestly, they are cooked, but I just wanted to make sure I, get everything evenly coated. And I'm just flipping them over, making sure every potato is getting all the love. And for some that are kind of crowded, I just move them over so that they can have room to cook even more. And you know your potatoes are done once they start to get curvy around the edges. And I'm just putting the lid back on, letting them rock out until it's time to turn them off. And then my favorite part, the butter. You want to add as much butter as you want. I used about a half a stick of unsalted butter. And you want to have the heat off at this point. You want to turn the heat off. The potatoes are still hot. The syrup is still hot, so it's going to cook through just fine. And you just want to sit with this with the lid on once you have all the butter evenly distributed on the potatoes. And there you have it, some good old-fashioned candied yams on the stove. If you bake them in the oven, they are not candied yams, I'm sorry to tell you. So super easy. You just have to follow these crucial steps, but it's really, straightforward. I hope that you all enjoyed this video, and let me know how they came out in the comments below. Take care and happy holidays.